The MISC Odyssey is an upcoming sub-capital ship in Star Citizen, the purpose of which is to be a complete, self-contained home away from home for would-be explorers or travellers in the verse. The so-called Carrack Killer could flex into different roles as required for those trailblazers off the beaten path. That versatile functionality has understandably gotten many players excited. I'm Forrester, and welcome to the Drydock, a series which delves deeper into the ships of Star Citizen. This video will explore the background behind the Odyssey both in and out of game, and then take a look at some of the attributes and statistics of the ship before considering how that might all translate into gameplay. There are timestamps in the video description, although if you're a fan of the Odyssey, you might prefer to watch this one all the way through. And whilst this channel usually focuses on what's currently in-game, necessarily this video will navigate the treacherous space that is speculation territory. Whilst every effort has been made to approach this video accurately, sometimes information is sparse and much is subject to change as time goes along, so please treat the content with a pinch of salt and not as a definitive promise as to what will happen. All of that said, let's dive into the background of the Odyssey. The Odyssey was first announced in November 2021 in time for the annual Star Citizen Black Friday sale and went straight to concept sale. The announcement included an Inside Star Citizen special video as well as a website launch with accompanying Q&A. As a relatively recently announced ship, there isn't a great deal of in-game information available about the Odyssey yet. Hopefully, as time goes along, more of a backstory for this intriguing ship might be developed. On announcement in 2021, the Odyssey was offered for sale for $700 or $625 of new money. The stated purpose of the Odyssey is as an exploration and expedition ship designed to be away from home for long periods of time. With that in mind, the Odyssey design includes a number of features to make it less dependent on other ships and to stay out of base for longer, and the impact of all of those features are to suggest that this ship might be a bit of an all-rounder, a general-purpose vessel. With the ability to defend itself, carry smaller ships in a hangar bay, carry ground rovers in a vehicle bay, offer medical facilities, as well as simple mining and refining operations, the Odyssey looks to be truly multifunctional. Add in a medium-sized cargo bay, and the Odyssey does look on paper to have everything it needs to go out and explore the stars. Based on current information, the Odyssey would have a total length of 140 meters, a total width or beam of around 90 meters, and a total height or depth of 35 meters. The total mass of the Odyssey is still to be determined. By way of components, the Odyssey is expected to house a large radar as well as two medium-sized computers. Power is expected to be provided by a capital power plant, with cooling provided by a capital-sized cooler. Defensively, the Odyssey would carry a single capital shield generator. The Odyssey specifications list two large fuel intakes, a large hydrogen fuel tank, and a large quantum fuel tank. Additionally, the Odyssey looks set to include the ability to fill those tanks from the onboard refinery. Both the quantum drive and jump drive are set to be large size. In terms of propulsion, the specifications list two main thrusters, two retro thrusters, and two fixed maneuvering thrusters located around the ship, providing rotation and translation support. By way of armament, the Odyssey is set to carry 3 remote turrets, each armed with 2 size 5 weapons. The holo viewer shows those turrets 2 on the top near the front and 1 on the belly at the back of the ship. Additionally, the Odyssey lists 4 missile racks with size 3 missiles aboard. Moreover, the Odyssey carries an onboard hangar, said to be able to carry ships the size of a Hornet, including a Gladius, Arrow, Sabre, or even Eclipse, which could considerably add to the combat performance of the overall package. The crew specifications for the Odyssey note a minimum crew of 1 to a maximum crew of 6. In reality, the Odyssey is likely to be very vulnerable in the hands of a single pilot, owing to the reliance on the remote turrets for any real firepower. Assuming 2 people to control the remote turrets rather than the full 3, adding in a pilot, and perhaps somebody to undertake either engineering type gameplay or fly the remote ship, it might be reasonable to assume an effective crew of 3 to 4 players for the Odyssey, with the potential for a couple more people. That makes it an interesting option for a small group. Whilst the Odyssey is not as large as some of the capital ships, it does carry that large ship versatile feel to it. Part of the attraction of this ship is the many different potential functions it could perform for people who enjoy experiencing different types of gameplay. One example is the onboard mining laser and refinery, allowing the Odyssey to harvest quantanium or hydrogen fuel sources to fill the internal tanks. And then there's the hangar bay at the back, and the 252 SCU of cargo storage in a bay with a loading and unloading ramp for ground vehicles. Add to that the medical facilities, including a Tier 2 medical bed, and the Odyssey has a lot of versatile amenities aboard. Then there are the usual things like individual crew rooms, docking collar, and what have you. So the obvious use case for the Odyssey would be long-range exploration, going out with a small group of friends and seeing the sights, doing the things, just enjoying the game. Some of the most fun ships in Star Citizen are those that let you experience different types of gameplay, flexing to the needs of the day, and the Odyssey looks to offer just that. That's especially so because the onboard medical bed makes mistakes potentially more forgiving. Long-term mining gameplay could be an option, not so much with the onboard laser, owing to the stated limitation that the onboard facilities are purely for refueling purposes rather than to grab the cargo, but the hangar bay is said to be enough to fit a prospector in, meaning the Odyssey could take it on long-range mining trips and use the onboard cargo bay to store potentially up to 8 full loads worth of mined goods before heading back. In terms of multi-ship gameplay for the Odyssey, there are a few potential options. Whilst the firepower aboard isn't the most overwhelming when compared to the dedicated combat ships, the capital-sized shield generator may mean that the Odyssey isn't too out of place when zipping around a busy battlefield. Add in the utility provided by a hangar bay that could house a medium-sized fighter, or perhaps, more interestingly, a bomber like a Gladiator or Eclipse, and suddenly the Odyssey doesn't feel out of place as an ancillary ship even in a fleet of capital ships. Moreover, with the combination of the hangar bay and medical facilities aboard, the possibility of using the Odyssey as some sort of armed hospital ship opens up. Whilst the bed at Tier 2 is not the most impactful, it's still a potential option. All of that said, the Odyssey seems much more tailored to lone wolf gameplay, going out and being a home base for a small group of players, and that's likely where the versatility of the ship will shine. So, with all of that, the concept for the Odyssey is one of a versatile, multi-crew platform to let a group of players experience a few different gameplay loops from a single ship when it finally hits the verse. At the risk of going on for too long, we'll draw a line under the Odyssey here, all without mentioning the phrase carrot killer since that first intro, so it's over to you to share your thoughts in the video comments. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, you might like to do that so that you can get the heads up for new videos on the channel, as well as exploring the like button if you like heavily narrated slideshows talking about fictional spaceships. Otherwise, and as always, thank you for watching.